Times Picayune, dated June 19th. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square called La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and break of cars. These days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists. Street music. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
I'm going out.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Hello.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Cousin. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a slip-knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Oh, don't that beat all? You're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep Gregory, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though it don't hurt to be proactive none either, now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
The signs say, Special Saint-Jean Eve, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagnappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra. Mind if I ask you a few questions? Can you tell me...
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
What do you know about the...
Cabri Saint-Croix.
What did you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've lived here all my life, me.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So,
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly? What did you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur.
Have you ever...
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get it?
Why should I discuss my business with you?
Tell me about you.
Why should I discuss that customer?
The woman.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
Look at the voodoo paraphernalia around the body in the photograph. Are you sure you can...
No, I don't know anything about it.
Do you recognize the...
Don't look familiar at all, sir.
Gabriel is carrying.
Does this...
I don't know anything.
Talking to.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective...
He's in his office.
Gabriel can't do that from the front lobby. There is... There's a temperature gauge.
Hey, mostly.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up. It's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask him.
What can you tell me about?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city. I looked into it a bit at the beginning, but the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all fake. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know, I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics.
What do you know about the...
Lots. Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killer?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scene.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be, but we'd have to have a suspect in custody first, and the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the Voodoo Murderers case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. was the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur? Describe the crime scenes.
Now there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. Also blood.
What's the coroner?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one.
Lovely.
And don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic...
Any witnesses?
It's damn weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody's...
Know anything about the victim?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know.
Oh, nothing.
Sure.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
For you and me, it's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know, the quarter's getting a bit too wild. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but... Hell, I've never known anything.
Do you know anything?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
What can you tell me about?
That's coming up, isn't it?
We get some occasional weird...
Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
Do you have any idea what capricon?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough. Have you ever...
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
I don't think there's... Tell me about yourself.
For the...
Sure, why not?
Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, you know, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched. I don't see why I can't be the chief of police in New Orleans. I already know the mayor, and my record is one of the best in the department.
I'm sure it's just a matter of
Yeah, you'll...
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable.
I'm serious. Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet dancer. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play you know, put your lips together.
How's your home life?
Oh, real funny, Knight. Why don't you just bring in some freaking salt? Well, you know Andy left me. My home life is shit.
Right. Sorry about that.
Just tell...
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something. Then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch her soaps.
Yep, and it was a great way to pick up women in the library. Those were the days.
Just tell me...
You know, my doctor told me I've got a little family of ulcers starting. I wish this case would end so I could get some rest.
Just tell me...
My back.
Just tell me...
For the book, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was young. Or a fireman.
Fascinating.
Just tell...
I'm 6'2".
You are not.
Oh, come on. I'm close enough. Just write me up that way.
Just tell me...
You know, I kind of like women with dark hair.
Yeah, I know. It's a regular thing with you.
Now that Grace.
You're on your own with that one, pal. I don't even want to know.
Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? You'd act, and we...
Oh, nothing.
It's your...
What's the state?
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach.
That long?
All right.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just...
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
Can I ask you about...
You?
I got those photographs.
Really?
Astonished.
Yeah, that's...
A cop.
You and me?
Why not?
Well, okay.
Franks, come here a minute, would you? Bring your camera.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make...
Sure, sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec.
Good God.
It looks a bit heavy. There's nothing. The door.
Would you just get in here? Hurry.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah,
the suit.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Yep.
Can I ask you a few quick...
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these. Officer Frick.
Just a few...
Officer Frick or Detective Mosley could...
Can I ask you about... Here? Do you know anything about...
Yeah, all 7 victims had those little... We got all the...
Can I see...
Sure. Might make the book seem more... Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see...
Gabe.
Just a few questions.
Officer Frick or Detective...
Just a few...
Officer Frick...
There's
Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you get a file?
What?
The Voodoo Murders file?
Really? There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
Don't leave the room with that file, please.
Just a few questions.
Officer Frick...
the police.
Excuse...
Yes?
Are you...
I'm...
I'm done. Can I ask you... Here? I got those...
So you say...
Let's take... I don't...
Really? Franks, come back in here with that camera.
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not.
Anything?
Hold on a second. Let me see that file again. Just want to check this machine.
Would you just get in here?
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Chad.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello?
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that. Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
What can you tell me? What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am.
Do you know anything about snake?
You have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important,
Do you have any idea?
I fear.
Have you? Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yeah.
What is it you...
Why do...
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is...
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest.
What are your own?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr.
Just...
I am originally from the West Indies myself.
Really? What brought you to...
I was drawn here.
Just tell me...
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you.
Just tell me...
I do not care for small...
Just tell...
I am not an easy person to get to know. Not at all.
Just...
Not everyone can come see the museum, so I occasionally do public speaking on the subject of history. No. But then, you have me all to yourself right now.
Just...
I am originally...
Really? Actually,
Then...
Tell me about...
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many Africans, but the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here.
The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
Tell me about
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or grigri. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Voodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
The doorway is out.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Walk carefully out there.
I'm sorry to bother you.
What you need, boy?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
What can you tell me about?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa.
What do you know?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
What can you tell?
Seems like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery too. I see tourists in here every...
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
What's the
Why, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo.
That's pretty
Yep. Don't know what they do.
Do you have any idea what
No.
Have you ever heard?
I don't know what you talking about.
Tell me about it.
My name is Toussaint Gervais.
What
Oh, I keep the place tidy, cause, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound they don't know what they doing.
Tell me about it.
That's about all they is.
Tell me something.
You know why? Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Cause if it was Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
I want a copy of these strange marks. Hello, Dr. John. Could I ask...
Of course. I admire the spirit of this snake.
You didn't...
I think I did.
I'd really...
There is really nothing more to... There is really...
Is there...
Not if your interest is... Hoodoo is of it.
Is there...
Not...
Tell me more.
But
Sure.
she...
Great. I'll be going.
Come back again.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell...
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize.
What's the significance of
St. John's Eve? It is the greatest night of the voodoo. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the Lake Pontchartrain.
Do you have any... Tell me about the...
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They are
Too close.
just bad karma.
Have you ever...
I don't know anything about...
Tell me about yourself. How'd you get it?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great...
Really? I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
seekers after the truth, such as yourself. I am a voodoo yen. That is plenty.
How many?
No one knows, but of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly.
Tell me.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas.
Tell me.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I am well versed in the magical art.
Tell me.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me.
Dr. John sends me many seekers such as yourself.
Tell me.
I am happy here with my clientele.
Tell me.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans.
I can't.
Very well. What about her?
Where'd you get?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we. I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Would you?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings.
How about showing me how you handle?
Really? You would...
That would be.
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight. No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. But I ask you if...
Sir?
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match.
Magenta. Magentia's room is... Gabriel figures that many men have picked up things in Magentia's parlor, but he'd rather not.
Well, I guess I'll be gone.
The only vice is the absence of...
I've heard that. Bye now. May I help you? I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment... I do... Really? My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? Interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty. Miss Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be down shortly. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell?
Voodoo.
There's nothing
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
What do you know?
The murders? Only what I read in the...
And what do you read in the...
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Tell me.
On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Do you know anything about...
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
What can you tell me about St. John?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but...
Do you have any idea?
No, I don't.
That's... Do you know...
Animal masks? I don't know.
Have you?
No, I'm afraid...
Tell me.
I suppose I don't really have a choice.
What kind...
I don't...
Yes.
It is, Detective. A career. Being the head of the Getty family is a 24... The manager...
Poor little Rick.
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its
Tell me about you.
The Gettys?
How many?
Well, my mother...
I am.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really...
I'm sorry.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city.
I see. Do you...
I'm very independent, Detective.
So, you...
No, and I never will.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear...
I do a lot of
I'd like to hear...
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology.
Oh?
Law? Please, I do have some morals, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything. I'd like to hear...
I have a few friends. A woman in my...
I'd like to hear just...
I try to stay away from the media as much. I prefer to keep my private...
Of course. I'd like to...
I do a lot of charity work.
I would...
As you wish.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your...
A good detective never knows what might be relevant.
Then you must be truly exceptional. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a...
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective...
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real...
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like lies.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear, I've never done...
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have... Robert? Show Mr. Knight up.
I'm upset. Thank you very much. I had a... Ah, shit.
There's no one outside.
You mind if I ask you a few?
Yeah.
What?
Because I don't...
Oh. I have this... It's good for $20 at St. George's Books.
Really? I'll have...
You could take this gift certificate with you, if you'll give me...
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure.
Could I ask you some... Okay.
The artist is an... The art...
Nice drawing. It's... What? Those... Yeah. Can you draw anything with those? They're great for Do you mind if I... Be my guest? Do you mind if I... Be my guest?
Why be rude to the... The artist is an able...
Do you mind if I watch?
An artist is... An artist is... An artist is... Why be rude to the... Why be rude? The artist is...
Do you mind if I watch? Be my... Do you mind if I watch? Be my guest?
Why be rude to... The artist...
Hey, come back here! Hey! Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck! Could I ask you some... I'd rather not. Okay. How's it going? What you working on? Just... Do you mind if... Be my...
The artist... Gabriel cannot interrogate that. The other... The other park. Leave the luck. That would... The other park. The juggler is... Gabriel doesn't... That's a... The other park... The other... Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is. The other park visitors are enjoying.
You dance pretty. You?
Would I? Thanks, mister.
Interrogating the...
You mentioned something about... Can you?
Can't.
Good. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure. Here you go.
Thanks.
Yep.
This belongs to you. My Oh, it was my... Say, what do you need? Is there any way you can reconstruct... What is it? You'd never... Okay. I'll see what...
What would it...
I have another one of...
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with.
Great. I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Oh, boy.
Got a minute? Could you do...
Sure. What?
I need you...
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders of...
Great.
As if that means... Anything else?
I can't think of...
Okay. It's time to close...
So it is. Have a nice night.
You too. See you tomorrow. I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Kazanu. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great, thanks.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malyagetti, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to
The star.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested? She can have any—
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic hope. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in—
I always suspected there was— I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad—
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right. You should be
oh, never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hand.
The point is to get